cases are concerned, as far as Gurmeet Ram Rahim is concerned, and the sort of stringent punishment which was given out and meted out to Sukhbir Badal. And this is where we've seen that in a very crowded place, an open firing has been done. But thankfully, the people around were very, very alert, and they overpowered the attacker. He's been handed over to the police. But there is obviously about a security concern which is now taking place. And this is where there is a lot of expectation that things could turn around. And one of all is that whether Akal Takht will look into the circumstances, and second is the sort of security presence. And we've seen even in and around Golden Temple, there is usually a presence, and obviously Sukhbir Badal being a former chief minister, he's a person who's very well secured at this point of time. Sukhbir Badal's wife, Harsimrat Badal, is not only a former union minister, but is also a member of parliament. So in that instance, if you really have a look about how things have really panned out in Punjab, in particular for Shrimani Akali Dal chief Sukhbir Badal, one is there is a direction being given that his resignation as the chief of Akali Dal should be accepted. And then thereafter, the sort of concern which is now being expressed by various people, this is something which is being taken note of. And remember, even though the area is being sanitized and the attacker is being overwhelmed, this concern is going to be there, because remember, the punishment has been meted out and he has been doing seva, whether it's about cleaning toilets, whether it is acting as a darban. So he's been very publicly there. And yesterday also, when people were seeing that he was very much present out in the open, this is not only something which could be problematic for the people, because the sort of security paraphernalia is there, but also for him, because it exposes him not only just to the open crowds, but to an attack of this kind. But whether this is some sort of an intel failure, whether the Punjab police failed to actually apprehend or even anticipate that this kind of an attack or threat could actually be on Sukhbir Badal, all this is obviously going to be a part of a detailed study now. But at this point of time, obviously, the focus is on the attacker himself, Narayan Singh Chaudhary, an ex-militant and ex-terrorist of BKI. And what we've been told is that he's an old man, but obviously with close links, and whether there was some sort of instructions given to him, or whether this is something which he's done suo moto. Now that now needs to be seen, whether this has been part of a larger conspiracy, or whether he fired upon taking an opportunity at that point of time, knowing very well that Sukhbir Badal is there in Golden Temple.
Be with us. I'll come back to you in a second from now. Kamaljeet Sandhu getting in those details about this entire matter that has led to absolute chaos and mayhem. The big question is that how did this security lapse happen? It's a bullet shell that has been found lodged now in fact, the temple just where Badal was seated. On your screens, you can see the attempt to fire at Badal just meters away from him, the assassin. There was media there because Sukhbir Badal, the former CM, has been serving a punishment at the Golden Temple after he offered an unconditional apology to the religious body Akal Takht, acknowledging his mistakes vis-a-vis the sacrilege matter. And that's the reason why the cameras were rolling in any case. The pictures of him had gone viral in any case. But the same cameras today have caught this entire assassination attempt. You can see the ease with which the killer here the assassin pulls out a weapon and fires at Sukhbir Badal, but his attempt to kill him has been foiled.
सुखबीर सिंह बादल पर अमृतसर श्री दरबार साहब में जो जानलेवा हमला हुआ, गोली चलाई गई, ये बहुत बड़ी सुरक्षा की चूक है। आम आदमी पार्टी ने पंजाब को कोई कानून नाम की चीज छोड़ी नहीं। आम आदमी पार्टी जब से पंजाब में आई है, डर नाम की चीज नहीं रहेगी। गैंगस्टर्स जेलों से राज कर रहे हैं, पंजाब जेलों से चलाया जा रहा है, और आज कानून व्यवस्था इस कदर गिर चुकी है, सुरक्षा इस कदर पंजाब में खत्म हो चुकी है कि एक Z+ प्रोटेक्टिव भी पंजाब में सुरक्षित नहीं है। ये आम आदमी पार्टी, अरविंद केजरीवाल, भगवंत मान की देन है पंजाब को।
All right, getting all the details as far as the details and the identity of the assassin is concerned is Narayan Singh Chaudhary, shot at Sukhbir Badal, I beg your pardon. He's a terrorist, served jail in Punjab prison. So he's a history sheeter in that sense. He crossed into Pakistan also in the year 1984. This is Narayan Singh Chaudhary, the person who fired at Sukhbir Badal, smuggled weapons, explosives into Punjab. This man, Kamal, is a known history sheeter. He is also a key accused in the Burel jailbreak case. What more can you tell us about him?
Well, what we know from our sources is that he's an old militant. So in that particular sense, his hands are dirty. He has been involved. He has been jailed. He's also been part of the Budel jailbreak. So yes, there is a history of militant nexus with him. But having said that, he's been out on bail on previous instances as well. What is his status at this point of time? One needs to really know. But this is where things can go really awry. And we've seen it even during Amritpar's case. The revival of Khalistan militancy has been a key concern. But remember, being active at that point of time and not just having targeted attacks of this particular kind, which is being done outside Golden Temple. And now this is going to be raising a lot of worry and concern. And as several of people and leaders have been talking about security concerns as far as law and order is concerned, there has been gang war. But this is something which is being a very targeted sort of an attack. This is a failed assassination attempt, and this is where the fire was shot, and obviously it is the crowd which overwhelmed the attacker, and this is where this is going to be a major cause of concern at this point of time, where we are looking at not just worry, but after being declared a tankhaya, and this is obviously being declared guilty as far as religious conduct is concerned. This could be a huge setback for Akali Dal, but this kind of an attack really coming place with Akali Dal leaders now asking a judicial inquiry into this entire incident. This is obviously not just a warning shot, but a warning call itself as far as the situation is concerned. And obviously there would be question answer done, but there is one, whether this is part of a larger conspiracy or whether this was an opportunity-based attack.
There's a big question mark here also, Kamal, on the security at the Golden Temple. I'm just coming back to you in a moment from now. Joining in is Sushant Sareen this morning. Thank you for your time, sir. Please do give us an idea about or a sense of how do you look at these horrific developments from today where a weapon has been brought inside the Golden Temple, an attempt to fire at the former chief minister there?
Well, look, I'm not surprised. Things have been heading this way for many, many years now. We've all turned a blind eye, adopted an ostrich-like approach, buried our heads in the sand, and pretended that there is no problem in Punjab. But clearly this problem has been there. There are telltale signs of growing radicalism and links of these terror groups, not just with countries like Canada, but in Pakistan has been very active. All sorts of things have been happening. And yet you listen to old journalists who have worked on Punjab, you talk to the people in government, and everybody says there is no problem in India. Well, I wonder if now people will wake up in the government and outside government and realize that there is a serious problem that is brewing in Punjab. So, whether this is something somebody has exploited a certain opportunity, whether, you give whatever spin you want to give on it. But I think what has happened is a manifestation of a deeper malaise that exists in Punjab. And there is nobody who is ready to address that. You have the SDPC, which is defending people who have been responsible for murders, who've been responsible for assassinations. You have the SDPC backing them. You have a government which is not ready to carry out the punishments that have been already announced. So you have a broken criminal justice system, and you have terrorists and their sympathizers and their ideologues running amok. And this, what we have witnessed today, is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot worse that can happen, and God forbid something like that happens. It's good that Mr. Badal hasn't been injured or been hurt in this particular attack. But frankly, we are tempting fate now. We are crossing our fingers and hoping nothing untoward happens. When you are seeing people on the streets of Punjab carrying out Khalistani propaganda. You are seeing the misuse of gurdwaras by these radicals. You are seeing people, within the SPPC and other such groups who are openly batting for these guys. So why are we surprised that this has happened today?
You've spoken about the fact that it is the Shiromani Akali Dal that has given space to these radicals. What can be done now? Given that at the end of the day, we're talking about the Golden Temple where a man manages to enter with a weapon, and Khalistani with a known terror link. He's a history sheeter with a criminal record. What should be done going forward, Sushant Sareen?
Can we carry out the sentences on people who have been responsible for the assassinations of national heroes like Narayan Singh, the former chief minister? Can we at least do that much to show the resolve of the government to not kowtow to these characters? Number one. Number two, can we end this culture of impunity which has existed in Punjab, where openly people carry out secessionist propaganda, openly there are marches with Khalistani flags, and there is no let or hindrance on these characters? Can we at least do that? Can we put a stop to the Khalistani element which comes on OCI cards and gets visas by the dozen from Canada, from Australia, from the UK, from the US? Can we at least put a stop to that? Can we catch hold of these guys when they come to India and carry out this kind of propaganda? Can we do that, or can we do nothing? So the question, I think people need to start asking the government, both in Delhi as well as in Chandigarh, as to what the hell they've been doing so far. People like us have been saying that, look, there are these signs of trouble brewing. Please wake up. But every time we hear that there is no Khalistan problem. Well, if there is no Khalistan problem, then maybe there is just some criminal who's come and shot at Mr. Badal. But let's also not absolve the Shiromani Akali Dal and the BJP, which have been responsible to some extent for the revival of these characters. What they have done is that right from 2004, 2005, they have been giving a very, very long rope. They've been trying to rehabilitate some of these characters, thinking that everything will fall in place. I'm afraid that's not the way this is going to work out. You have to get serious about national security, especially something like what has happened in Punjab. And we've gone through that torturous period of the 1980s and early 90s, right? We've seen the kind of mass murders. More than 30,000 people were killed. And yet, if this country has the memory of a goldfish, that it forgets everything and then just repeats the same mistakes over and over again, then, all that we can depend upon is that astrologer who picked up the 12 o'clock at midnight time that to save India. Because I don't think these politicians or these bureaucrats or, these policy makers are going to do anything to save India.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Sushant Sareen, I'm going to thank you for joining in with your perspective on that big developing story that we're tracking. Indeed, a close shave for Sukhbir Badal there. The big question whether the sacrilegious case is linked to the assassination bid. For our viewers, we are getting in details of a big breaking story of an assassination bid at a former Chief Minister of Punjab, and that too in Amritsar's Golden Temple. Punishment for failure in the sacrilegious case is what he was serving. Let's get you more details about this matter. Narayan Singh Chaudhary is the assassin who has now been detained by the police. He's a Babbar Khalsa terrorist and served jail in Punjab. Crossed into Pakistan in the year 1984 for terror training. These are details. He also has smuggled weapons and explosives into Punjab. Also, key role in the Burel jailbreak case. Authored a seditious book on terror attacks. Going back to Kamaljeet for more on that. Kamal, of course, the ambit of the investigation right now is going to be on how did this happen. Also, whether he was in fact doing this alone or whether there were more involved behind this, whether there is a larger conspiracy. These are things that the investigations will reveal, isn't it?
Well, definitely. As far as this case is concerned, one, alarm bells have gone ringing because remember there is a ex-BKI link. Now he was arrested way back in 2013 under sections of UAPA.